Okay, so let's continue from where we stopped. That is third normal form. Right, so let me just present my screen. Okay, so we said that if a table is to be converted into third normal form, then we need to try to remove the transitive dependencies on superkeys, or we can just check it out these two conditions if any of this condition is getting satisfied. If there is a functional dependency from x to y, then either x should be a super key or y should be a member of candidate key, or both of this. Any of these three conditions get satisfied, then we can say that our table is in third normal form. Right. So now let's take an example of this. So consider this table. So can anyone tell me what will be the different super keys that you can generate from this particular table? I am talking about super keys, the set of columns that can identify either one or some few or some other set of columns. Not all other columns of the table, but few other set of columns. Okay, I have got one answer. ID. Only ID will be a super key. Please check the table again. I want all the set of possible super keys. I want all the possible set of super keys here. The column names are ID, name, zip, state, city, and district. Or you can say area instead of district. That is okay. Okay, so I got some answers like ID, then zip, then ID name zip, then ID zip. Okay, okay, right. So what we can say ultimately is we can combine as many columns to generate these super keys. Let's say first ID alone is a super key. I can say, then I can say, let me just highlight each and every one. We can say that ID alone is a super key. Then we can say that a combination of ID and name is a super key. Then we can say that a combination of ID, name and zip is a super key. Then we can say that a combination of ID, name, zip and state is a super key. So likewise we can say that there are many possible set of super keys. Yes or no? There are many possible set of super keys. Am I right? There are many possible set of super keys. So, but what we want is now from this all possible set of super keys, we need to identify a candidate keys. So, what will be the candidate key? Anyone? What will be the candidate key? A column that can determine all other columns of a table. What will be that candidate keys? Set of candidate keys. Very good. Only the ID. Yes. Why ID? Because ID will be unique for each and every person, but name can repeat, the zip can repeat, the state, the city, the district can repeat. But ID will be different, so ID can determine all other column values very uniquely. Right. So we can say that ID is our candidate key. So let us see that two parts first. So we said that all the possible set of columns, we can say that it is a super key, right? And candidate key is our ID. That is only the ID is the candidate key. Now, can anyone identify any transitive functional dependency in this? Can anyone identify a transitive functional dependency on in this particular set of columns? What are the different or what is the transitive functional dependency somewhere in this table? Anyone? Just try to find out transitive functional dependency in this table. Anyone? Okay, state, city, district. No, I want the exact, I would say, for transitive functional dependency like A to B, B to C, then A to C. So this is what I want actually. This is what I want. Okay, district, city, city, state. So district identifies state. Okay, great. Other than this, I just keep the schema with you. I'm presenting the schema with you. Just go through it once. We already know that ID is a candidate key. So this candidate key will be the part of super keys. Will be the part of super key because without candidate key we cannot generate a super key. So ID is the part of each and every super keys you have generated so far. That is ID or ID name or zip, ID name zip state, ID name zip state city, likewise. So ID is a candidate key that is common and that should be in the super keys. Now I want some functional dependencies from this. Already I've got few answers. State, city, district, state, city, district, district to city, city to state, and district to state. Any other possible functional dependencies? Anyone? Any one of you? Okay. So let's see what is the set of functional dependency in this particular example. So I am saying that non-prime attributes, all attributes except ID are non-prime attributes, right? Because ID is the only candidate key. ID is the only candidate key. So this table is already in a 2NF because there is only one candidate key. Clear with this, guys? ID is only the one candidate key in the table. So this table is already in 1NF, one data per column, and also it is in 2NF because there is only one candidate key. Not a set of candidate keys, but only one single candidate key. So is this clear till here, everyone? So we have already confirmed that our table is in 1 as well as 2NF. Clear with this, guys? First of all, yes or no? We already made sure that our table is in 1 as well as 2 and F because we can say that each column contains only one values as well as there is only one candidate key column. There are not more than one candidate key column. So our table is in 2 and F also. Though there can be a dependencies, but only one candidate key is there, so we don't bother about it. We are not concerned about it. So is this clear? So now we can convert this table to third normal form because already it is satisfying the first condition of 2NF. Am I right? Okay. So now, what are the non-prime attributes? The attributes that are not the part of candidate key. So because ID alone is a candidate key, all these names, zip, state, city, district, all these are your non-prime attributes. All these are your non-prime attributes. Right? So now let's see what the next point says. So it states that like this. ID determines zip. Zip determines state, city and district. So ultimately ID determines state, city and district. Can this be a functional dependency? Yes or no? Anyone? Can this be a functional dependency? If I have a faculty ID, then can I get his address, and based on the address of that particular faculty, can I get his zip? Yes or no? Zip or pin code? Yes or no? And if I have the pin code of that particular faculty, then can I know the city, the state, and the district of that faculty? Right? So we can say that if I have the ID, that is a candidate key, I can determine the zip of a particular employee. And if I know the zip of this particular employee, I can determine the state, the city and the district of that particular employee. So now ultimately, if I have the ID, I can determine the state, city and district. So this is your transitive dependency. Is it? Yes or no? This is your transitive dependency. Right? You already said few of the transitive dependencies earlier, but this is what I have taken as an example because I have to make sure that candidate keys and super keys are the part of somewhere transitive dependencies. Right? Whatever you have written is just a normal transitive dependency, like state to city, city to district, then state to district, or anything whatever you have written. But I have made sure that at least there should be some candidate key or the super keys in the transitive dependency. Right? So ID to zip, from zip I can determine state, city and district. So I can say that using transitivity rule or transitive rule, ID can determine state, city and district. Now let's see what is the problem. The problem is state, city and district are the non-prime attributes that we already state here, that these are the non-prime attributes. So state, city and district are the part of non-prime attributes, NPA, non-prime attributes, but are functionally dependent on super key ID. We already said that ID can be also a super key. Though it is a candidate key, it can also be a super key. Right? So it is violating the rule of 3NF. Why it is violating the rule of 3NF? Just go and see here. What is the rule? Transitive functional dependency of non-prime attribute on any of the super key should be removed, or non-transitive functional dependency should not be dependent on this super key. That means transitive functional dependency of non-prime attributes. Non-prime attributes, that is not the part of candidate key. Right? If we are performing transitive functional dependency on this particular attributes, then they should not be dependent on any of these super keys. So this is what the rule says. Right? So we can say that in our example, the state, city and district are the non-prime attributes, and because ID is a super key, right, it is transitively dependent on this particular ID, and hence this table is not in third NF. We need to try to remove this transitive dependency. We need to try to remove this type of transitive dependency. Clear with this, guys, everyone, what I am saying right now? Any doubts? Any repetition required? Any repetition required in this PPT? Okay, let me repeat again. No issues. Fine. Thank you, Shreyas. So what it says, assume that these are the parts. We have ID, name, zip, state, city, and district, right? So we can say that super keys can be the set of any columns, right? That can determine some other set of columns, but not all the set of columns maybe, right? So we can say that super keys are ID or combination of ID and name, or combination of ID, name and zip, or combination of ID, name, zip and state, or likewise you can have as many super keys. But from this table, we can surely say that there is only one candidate key, that is ID, because ID is the only column that can determine all other columns of the table. Right? So candidate is something that can determine all other columns. So we can say that ID is the only column that is determining all other columns. So we say that ID is the candidate key and rest of all the columns of the table are non-prime attributes. That means these columns are not the part of any candidate key. It is not the part of candidate key. So we already have one candidate key in our table. We don't have more than one candidate keys, right? So if we have only one candidate key, then we can say that our table is in second normal form, right? Because in second normal form we said that dependencies should be removed by having only one candidate key in a table, right? So we have only one candidate key in the table. So now we can say that though there is a dependencies on ID, but ID is only the one candidate key, it is allowed. We are not bothering about that particular part, right? So we already said this, that all attributes except ID are non-prime attributes. That is, they are not the part of any candidate keys. So we can say that name, zip, state, city and district are non-prime attributes. That is NPA. Till here is it clear, Shreyas and others? Till here it is clear, Shreyas and others? Okay, so next what we are doing is I am trying to create one transitive functional dependency like this. ID is determining the zip. So if I have the ID, I can determine the zip code of or pin code of employee, right? And if I have the employee code, employee pin code, then I can determine the state, the city and district of that particular employee, right? So if these two are the functional dependencies, then we can create one transitive functional dependency like ID determines state, city and district. ID determines state, city and district. So ID determines zip, zip determines state, city, district. So ID ultimately determines state, city and district. Am I clear with this? So this is the transitive dependency we have created. And we already know that ID is a candidate key as well as ID is a part of super key. ID is a candidate key as well as ID is a part of super key also. Now the rule of third NF states that if you want to convert your table to 3NF, then all the transitive dependency, again remember, all the transitive dependency of non-prime attributes of non-prime columns should not be dependent on any super keys, right? Should not be dependent on any super keys. So if you generate a transitive functional dependency, right, and if you have non-prime attributes such that these non-prime attributes are dependent on any of the super key, then we should try to remove that particular functional dependency. We should try to remove that particular functional dependency. Clear with this, the funda? all non-prime attributes functional dependencies on super key should be removed. In short, this is the answer. Is this clear or any doubts? Anyone? Anyone doubts in this? Shall I repeat again? Okay, so we have assumed that this is the functional dependency, transitive functional dependency, and we already said that state, city, and district are non-prime attributes, right? And they are already depending on ID because ID is determining them. So state, the city, and district are functionally dependent on ID, and ID is a super key as well as the candidate key. But because ID is a super key, this table cannot be said in a 3NF. This table cannot be said in a 3NF. So we need to change the table because these non-prime attributes are in transitive functional dependency with one of the super key, that is ID. Clear with this, guys? Clear with this? Okay. Then what is the probable solution of this? We need to remove this ID to state, city, district dependency. We need to remove this somehow. I need to remove this particular dependency, ID to state, city, and district. So what is the solution? The solution for this would be splitting it a table into more than one table such that transitive dependency is removed. Transitive dependency is removed, right? So what can be the probable solution? Anyone? I am just keeping this table for your reference. And can you give me the two tables or more than two tables that can be created for removing the transitive dependencies on super keys? Can you provide the tables and its columns such that transitive dependencies, transitive functional dependency on for super keys can be removed? Yeah, I'm waiting for your answer. So this is the schema you can refer, and I want some answers from you. What can be the probable solution for this particular table to make it into 3NF such that ID to state, city, and district transitive dependency is removed? Nupur, once we solve this particular part, when we'll give the final output of this particular table while splitting the table into two or more tables, then we can say that the table is in 3NF. So just wait for that time. I'll give you the example in the next part. But first, write down, or right now, I want you to answer that what are the different probable solutions where you can remove transitive dependencies in such a way that no non-prime attribute is dependent on any of the super key. Okay, so Shreyas has given me some answer like we have to first table will have ID, name and zip, and second table will have zip, state, city and district. Okay, good. Miloni has given me the answer ID, name, zip and zip, city, district and state. So have you checked whether there is any transitive dependency on super keys in any of the table? Shreyas and Miloni? Yeah, any other answers? You just need to check. and try to remove the transitive functional dependencies. That's it. On super keys. That is the most important part. If you have any super keys in your table, then you try to remove that particular part. Okay, ID name, zip city and zip district state. Yes, it is possible. Any other answers? Any other answers? Anyone? Okay, so let's see what can be the probable solution of this. So we have this table. We have the problem that state, city and district are the non-prime attributes which are dependent on ID, that is a candidate key, as well as it is a super key. So because this is the issue, the table is in not in a 3NF. So now we need to convert that table into 3NF, and this is how it will be done. The first table will have employee details like ID, name and zip, and second table will have zip, state, city and district. So even if you have transitive dependency in this table, but zip is not alone can be the super key or candidate key here. So these tables can be allowed. So this is the probable solution. Nupur. See, ID, name and zip. So there is no transitive dependency directly in this particular table where ID is a super key as well as a candidate key, right? Here in this table, zip, state, city and district, there can be a transitive dependency, but zip is not the part of a super key or candidate key. So this transitive dependency may be allowed. There is no issue. So this is what the solution of the table that we have earlier. Right? So this is the probable solution of 3NF. That means we have tried to remove the transitive dependencies on super keys or candidate keys. So this is what you can divide. And if you join the tables using zip, right? Zip is the common column. Then still you will get the same table. There won't be any unwanted or duplicated data. Clear with this, everyone? Or any doubts? Anyone? Any doubts? Anyone? Okay. So then let's continue. No doubts? Okay. So this is the probable solution of 3NF. We have splitted a single table into two tables such that only one table contains the super key as well as candidate key, and we just have a common columns in two different tables for performing the join operation. Right? So this is the 3NF. Right. So now let's continue with the next normal form, that is Boyce code normal form or BCNF. Right. So what does this mean? A table is said to be in Boyce code NF if it is in 3NF and every determinant should be a primary key. So can you tell me what do you mean by this statement? I want the answer. every determinant should be a primary key? Anyone who can give me the answer? What do you mean by the second part of the statement? Every determinant should be a primary key. The attribute which depends should be the primary key. Okay, Parth, good answer. Still, anyone else? Any more answers? Anyone? So determinant means all the column or a set of columns that determines the other set of columns is known as determinant. What does this mean? A column or the set of columns that determines the all other set of columns in a table, then that set of columns are known as determinants. So what it says, a relation is said to be in BCNF if it is in 3NF and every determinant is a primary key. So if you say that A determines B, then B determines D, then E determines C, then we can say that A, B and E should be a primary key. That is what determinants means. Let me write down here. So what is the meaning of determinant? I am writing it here. A determines B, C determines E, and F determines H. So this is what you have the functional dependencies. So it says that all the columns that determine some other columns should be a primary key. So here A should be a primary key, C should be a primary key, and F should be a primary key. So it says that whatever columns or set of columns which determines other set of columns should be a primary key. So this is what the meaning of determinant is. Clear? What do you mean by determinant, everyone? Clear what do you mean by determinant? Clear? Okay, so let's take an example. So BCNF is based on the concept of determinant. Already we have said that each determinant should be a primary key. So now assume this functional dependency. Account number determines balance and branch. So if I have the account number of mine or any others, then I can determine the balance as well as the branch in which that account is being opened, right? So account number is determining balance and branch. So in this particular table or in this particular functional dependency, what we can say, determinant is account number. Determinant is account number, and balance and branch are the dependents. Balance and branch are dependents. So determinant is account number because it is determining the balance and branch, or in other words we can say balance and branch are dependent on this particular account number. So account number is a determinant, and the rule of BCNF states that every determinant should be a primary key. So this determinant account number should be a primary key in the table. Should be a primary key in a table. So this is what the concept of determinant is. Am I clear, everyone? Or is there any doubts? Please go through this PPT once and just clear the concept of determinant so that we can move ahead with the example. What is determinant? The column that determines the other set of columns, or in other words, the set of columns which are dependent on some particular column, then that particular column is known as determinant. And that determinant should be a primary key in a table. That is what the particular rule of BCNF states. Any doubts? Anyone in this? Any doubts? The concept is this, nothing more. So we are assuming that here account number is determining balance and branch. So account number is a determinant, and that determinant account number should be a primary key in that particular table. That is what it says. Right? Okay, so then let's take an example of this. So this is what we have seen so far, and now this is the example. We have a table in which we have student, subject and faculty, and we can assume that wherever there is an underline, we can assume that it is a primary key. It is a primary key. So here student and subject both are primary key. So students, one simple question I have: if we have more than one primary key in a table, what do we call? If we have more than one primary key in a table, what do we call it? No, Parthiv. I said this during our lab sessions of constraints. Very good. Composite primary key. Very good, Jwalant. So if you have more than one primary key in a table, you can say that the table is composite table or composite primary keys. Right. So here we have student, subject and faculty. Student and subject are the primary keys. And you can see that Anand is learning DBMS with Mehta sir. Rohan is learning ETC with Vora sir. Ankit is learning DBMS with Patel sir. So you can assume that there are many faculties who are teaching the same subject, and there are different students learning the same subject with different faculties. Please go through these tables one. Go through this table once, and you come to know what is the actual relation. Please go through this table once. One subject is being taught by more than one faculty, and more than one students are learning the same subject with different faculties. So Rohan is learning ETC with Vora. Rohan is learning DBMS with Mehta sir. Ankit is learning DBMS with Patel. Riya is learning ETC with Joshi, but Nisha is learning ETC with Vora. So likewise, you have different faculties, same subjects and different students or same students here. Anand is repeating, Rohan is repeating, even the Nisha is repeating here. You can see that. So you can see that Anand, Rohan and Nisha, right, learning the same subjects with different faculties. So this is what the example is. Just go for it once. Now let us try to see what does this example wants to say. First functional dependency is student and subject determines faculty. Is it true? Yes or no? Student and subject determines the faculty. Is it true based on the table? Yes or no? Okay, is it? Yes, it is correct because Anand and DBMS, then we can say that he is learning that particular subject with Mehta sir, right? Okay, then what is the second functional dependency? Faculty determines subject. So if I have the Mehta, then I can know that the Mehta is teaching DBMS. Am I right? Yes or no? If I have Joshi, then I can know that Joshi is learning, teaching ETC. Is this correct? Yes, true. So is both these functional dependencies true? Yes or no? Student subject determines faculty, faculty determines subject. Right? So if I use the transitive functional dependency here, then you can say that student subject determines subject, but this is of no use. Student subject determines subject, but subject is already the part of this particular determinant, right? So this transitive rule is not required actually here, but this is just for your understanding. So now if we look at the two functional dependencies very properly, then what we can say that student subject determines faculty, or faculty is dependent on student and subject together, right? So is student and subject the primary keys? Is student and subject are the primary keys? Yes or no from the table? Do we have student and subject as a primary key from the table? Yes. Okay. Now what is the second functional dependency? Faculty determines subject, or subject is dependent on faculty. So is faculty a primary key? Because it is a determinant. Is faculty a primary key in the table? Is faculty a primary key in the table? Is faculty a primary key in a table? Please look at the table properly and then tell me. No, right? Because here there is no primary key underlined. So we can say that only student and subject are the primary key. So this particular part, faculty determines subject, where faculty is a determinant, but it is not a primary key. So this table is not in a BCNF. This table is not in BCNF, though it will be in a pre-NF, but it is not in BCNF, right? So now let's see what actually it is saying. So here one faculty teaches only one subject. Yes, Mehta is teaching only DBMS. You cannot see Mehta teaching ETC somewhere, right? Similarly, Vora is teaching ETC, Patel is teaching DBMS, Joshi is teaching ETC. So there is no one faculty which is teaching more than one subject here, right? So one faculty teaches only one subject, right? Then one student or one subject is taught by more than one faculty. Yes, DBMS is being taught by Mehta as well as Patel. You can see, right? So one subject is being taught by more than one faculty. Even ETC is being taught by this Vora and Joshi. So these two conditions are getting true, right? Then what is the next part? In FD2, that means already we have said that in functional dependency 2 here in the top part, faculty is a determinant, but it is not a primary key. That we already discussed, that faculty is a determinant because it is determining the subject, but it is not a primary key, right? So now what we have to do? Hence, the table is not in Boyce Code's normal form or BCNF. It is not in BCNF. So now in the above relation, one student make more than one assignments with different faculties. Yes, it is possible. Anand is doing one assignment of DBMS with Mehta sir. Anand is doing an assignment of ETC with Joshi sir. Right? So one student is doing more than one assignments with different faculties. Is this true? Right? Is this true, everyone? Anand is doing one practical or one assignment of DBMS with Mehta sir, and same Anand is doing an assignment of ETC with Joshi sir. So is this possible? Yes, everyone? Is it? Right. Then next, thus the data will be stored repeatedly for the student, subject and faculty. Yes, so we can see that the data is repeating Anand, DBMS Mehta, Anand, ETC Joshi, then Rohan, ETC Vora, then Rohan, DBMS Mehta. So ultimately your data will grow in a huge numbers. If you are doing more than one assignments for one particular subject, right, then also your data will have the repetition. Like let us take an example here. Anand doing DBMS assignment 1 with Mehta sir, Anand doing DBMS assignment 2 with Asama Mehta sir, Anand doing ETC assignment 1 with Joshi sir, Anand doing ETC2 assignment 2 with Joshi sir, Anand doing ETC assignment 3 with Joshi sir. So you are getting this Anand and DBMS multiple times along with this Mehta, right? So you can say that there will be some duplication of data or repetition of data. So we need to avoid this also because we do not want redundancy of data, right? So the data will be stored repeatedly for student, subject as well as the faculty, right? So now this will lead to the requirement of large storage space. So as the assignments increases, the data and the rows will get increased, right? So we'll require a large database for storing such type of data. Till here, is this clear, guys? Whatever I have taught in BCNF, we have seen the functional dependencies and we have checked that whoever are the determinants, are the primary key, but we have seen that in functional dependency too, faculty is a determinant but it is not a primary key, hence the table is not in a BCNF, right? And we already said that if this is the case where you have more than one student learning with different faculties for the same subject, then your data will grow in numbers. Your rows will increase in a table in numbers. For that, you will require a large storage. Am I clear till here, everyone? Any doubts? Anyone, any doubts in this? Okay, so now what can be the possible solution to create this table into BCNF? So let's take an example. The solution for this would be splitting it into more than one table such that, oh sorry, no, such that transitive dependency is removed and every determinant is a primary key. So what we are going to do? We are going to remove this transitive dependency first of all, that is not required actually in the table, and then we will check that each and every determinant is a primary key. Each and every determinant is a primary key. So can anyone give me the answer for this? What can be the probable solution of this? Split the tables into two tables such that if you have some dependencies, then determinant is a primary key. You have only two primary keys in your table. Can anyone give me the answer? This is the last part of this lecture, the BCNF. What can be the probable solution of this? How you can divide this particular table into such two tables or more than two tables such that you don't have any transitive functional dependency as well as all the determinants are your primary key. Any solutions? Anyone? Yes, guys. Anyone? Any solutions? Or shall I give the solution? Just try to divide somewhere or somehow your particular table into two tables. The solution is only two tables that I can say right now. Anyone trying out this particular example? Okay, so let's see the solution, that how you can convert this table into the BCNF. So solution is we try to remove the transitive functional dependency as well as we are going to make sure that every determinant is a primary key, right? So this is the solution. The first table will be of faculty and subject, where faculty and subject both are primary key because faculty determines, sorry, subject determines the faculty or faculty determines the subject. So you can change the primary key here. You can change the primary key here. So faculty determines the subject. So Mehta determines DBMS, Vora determines ETC, Patel determines DBMS. Likewise, all the faculties determines the subject. So this is the first part. We have changed the primary key because we require such type of dependencies. So here we came to know that we need to change the primary key of the table. And second table will be like faculty and student, where student and faculty both are the primary keys. So student determines faculty or faculty determines students. Right? So Anand is being taught by Mehta or Ron is learning from Vora, Ankit is learning from Patel. So this is the only solution where you are trying to remove the transitive dependency as well as you have also changed the primary key of the tables. You have also changed the primary key of the tables. So this is what the solution of Boy's code normal form is. Clear with this? We have changed the primary key from subject to faculty. Student, we have kept it as it is, but we have changed the primary key of subject to faculty. Clear with this, guys? Everyone? Any doubts? Anyone in this? Students, please go through this PPT once in your e-content. Till here, please go through each of the parts. If you still face any problems in this, please let me know in our next lecture. Am I clear?